this video is just going to be smirking all the way through because I'm just loving these books. Hello everyone, welcome back to Wayfaring Reader. My name's Alfredo. Now, today's video is going to be my September wrap-up, so the books I've read in September. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The first book I read in the month of September was none other than History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Now, I freaking love this book. Like, you won't even believe how much I loved it. It was just so good. A 5-star read for me, definitely. I was like, I think on page 30, I was already sobbing my eyeballs out. Like, it was so sad, but so fulfilling and just heartwarming and heart-wrenching. And I'm grinning right now. You probably think I'm a masochist. I'm not, but I just love this. I just love books that make me cry and make me feel all the feels, and this one was definitely one of them. Just so good, so splendidly written, so splendidly crafted. Oh my god, Adam Silvera at his finest. I think I may have even enjoyed this more than his debut novel, More Happy Than Not. And that's also a 5-star read for me, but oh my god, I love it so much. History Is All You Left Me is about grief and pain and kind of overcoming the loss of a person you love. Now, our main protagonist is Griffin, and his ex-boyfriend Theo just died in a drowning accident. Even though they had broken apart a couple of months back, they were still in contact, and Griffin always thought that they were endgame and that eventually they were going to end up getting back together. So the catch is that the only person that can currently understand his grief and what he's going through is Theo's boyfriend, Jackson. So it's about these two boys meeting for the first time and kind of figuring out how to overcome the grief they feel. It is an Own Voices LGBT novel. Wonderful, just so good. If you're looking for a cry-worthy book, this is definitely it. I feel like any person can relate to the themes that this has, and just the way it is written and the way it expresses that the truth and talking liberates you and it helps you move on. It's just so wonderful. Now, we will be doing a more spoilery, in-depth review of this, so I'll be linking that down below when it's ready. A 5-star read from me. The second book I read was kind of a surprising one, and it was The Hobbit by j.r.r. Tolkien. Now, at the beginning, kind of at the end of August, beginning of September, I rewatched all the Hobbit movies, which I love. I just love the Lord of the Rings world, this universe of Middle Earth, and so I rewatched them. I was like, I really want to reread this book, and this is reread because I read this like ages ago. Like, I don't know, when I was 11 or 12, so like 8 or 9 years ago, which was like such a long way back. I did surprisingly remember a lot of things, but I caught on more things this time around than the last time, obviously. If it worked like that, I would be worried, but yeah, I definitely really enjoyed this. This was a 4-star read for me. j.r.r. Tolkien, it's just clear that he is the founding father of our, like, modern genre of fantasy, and he's just so good and does such a stellar job, and the fact that this is a children's novel just blows me away. However, I do feel like a lot of the characters fell flat, like, I think except Bilbo and Gandalf. The dwarves, like Thorin, but the rest of them, they kind of fell flat, and there are things that I think the movie did a little bit better in giving those side characters a little bit more of in-depth development. But still, I really enjoyed this, and again, a 4-star read for me. For those of you who don't know, a brief synopsis is that this is about Bilbo, a hobbit, hence the name, but again, this is about Bilbo who kind of goes on this journey and becomes the burglar for this group of 13 dwarves that want to retrieve a treasure that was long ago stolen from them by this fierce and dangerous dragon. And so the book is basically the journey of them reaching the mountain where the treasure of the dragon lay, and kind of the obstacles they face along the way, and how they kind of bond, and the dwarves come to trust Bilbo more. It's also kind of like a prequel to The Lord of the Rings. It explains how the ring got into the possession of Bilbo, who then passed it on to Frodo. And I'm just glad I read this, because now I have open pathway to read The Lord of the Rings, which I still haven't read, and I need to get on that train. The third book I read this month is actually one I don't own a physical copy of, but after reading it, I just need to own it because I loved it so much. And that's Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elier Sands. I'll be leaving over here a photo for those of you who want to see the cover. But oh my god, this book, ever since this came out, this has had so much hype, it has won so many awards, all of it deserved, and I didn't read it. Now finally, I listened to it on audiobook, which was just, oh my god, I loved it so much. My heart was just filling up with warmth while listening to it, because this Ari and Dante are the cutest. I can't even, they're like, oh my god, heart emoji, because they're just the cutest ever. No, Aristotle and Dante is the story of like these two teenagers of Latino descent who one summer they meet, and Dante kind of starts giving Ari swimming lessons because Ari doesn't know how to swim. And from there on, they kind of develop this friendship, which kind of, it hints towards a romance, but there are moments where you don't really know what's going to happen, and that's something that really pleasantly surprised me. But this is just basically a story about self-discovery, growth, discovering kind of sexual orientation, who you are, coming to terms with it. It also has a very big family factor, which I was very surprised to find, and very pleased for it too, because there are not many books that are so family focused as this. And here, the parents of both these characters are like main, secondary characters, if that makes sense. But they were there like for every or nearly every chapter, and I was very pleased by that. And just again, how just like with history, this talks about how talking liberates you, and I was very, very pleased with it, and I loved it so much. It definitely 5-star read for me. And again, I really want to get a physical copy because it just, thinking about it, it warms my heart. Fourth book I read this month was kind of the hunk of the month, and I'm talking about none other than Tower of Dawn by Miss Queen of Fantasy, Sarah J. Maas, and oh my god, did I just love this book so much. 5-star read, definitely. And again, I can't stop grinning. I'm gonna stop now. No, but seriously, like, this book was so fantastic. I was very hesitant to go into this because, I was like, the squad isn't in this. I don't know if I'm really going to enjoy this as much. I was a bit iffy, but honestly, it was so good, so mind-blowing. This is Sarah J. Maas at her finest in writing, in character development, and I've kind of seen a pattern where she really shines writing these books with character arcs where they go through, like, being in a really dark place and kind of confronting those obstacles to kind of liberate themselves. And we saw this in Airfire with Selena, we saw this in A Court of Mr. Fury with Feyre, and we see this here with Kale, and also kind of Nesrin, you know? Another great thing of this, Irene is back, Irene Towers, which is from The Assassin's Blade. If you haven't read this, if you haven't read that, I don't know what you're doing, you need to read that. Just, if you've gotten this far into the TOG, like, series without having read the prequel novel, stop, go read it, and then come back. Tower of Dawn is the journey of Kale and Nesrin going to Antica with 2 missions. First of all, to see if the healers there can help Kale kind of overcome the physical injury he went through, or he suffered in Queen of Shadows at the end. Their second mission is kind of to convince the royal family of Antica to enter the war that is brewing in Aurelia, because the situation is at such a critical point that they need more armies, they need more soldiers to face properly the darkness that is looming over them. Now, I know this was a very, vague synopsis, but I really don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't gotten that far into the series yet, because it is a pretty long series, so yeah. But again, this was fantastic, and for those of you who doubt it, you have to read this to read the last book in the Throne of Glass series that comes out next year. So many things are revealed in this book that you need to know that information before reading the final book. If you're hesitant, don't be. This is, again, Sarah J. Maas, one of her best works ever, and it's just so good. So, oh my god. I'm just in pain because we have to wait another full year to read the final Throne of Glass book, but again, 5-star read. The final book I read this month was kind of a surprise for me. That's The Jungle Book. Now, this was a surprise for me because The Jungle Book was never my favorite Disney movie. In fact, I think I only watched it once or twice during my childhood, so I barely remembered it. However, a few weeks back, I watched the live-action version from Disney of this book, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I was like, well, I can pick up the book. And I was very underwhelmed by it. Very, very, very underwhelmed by it. It's kind of my fault because I expected it to be more like the movie. But honestly, this isn't even a real novel. This kind of a bind of stories, in which the first 3 stories are kind of Mowgli's story, Mowgli's story, the one we know, and then the other 4 stories have nothing to do with Mowgli. And I was like, what? What is this? What is happening? What is this white seal, Rikki-Tikki Tavi, Tomai of the Elephant, and Her Majesty's servants? What is happening? And I think that was part of why I was but kind of disappointed in this book. Especially because the relationships that are so endearing in the movie are just so cold and different in the book. And I'm just not saying the movie is better, but I expected something different, and I think that's kind of why I'm kind of here right now, giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then, even though I think the last 2 stories, they had very interesting overarching themes to analyze, but just overall, as a whole, a bit underwhelmed. I wasn't even very invested in this. I even thought of just putting it down and not picking it up again. In the end, I did read it. Do I recommend it? Yes, give it a go. It is a classic. But for me at least, it didn't work. That is all for my video today. I hope I've enjoyed it. Again, I will be leaving in the description below the links to the reviews I make. You'll find my social media links down below if you want to follow me, if you're interested. I have Instagram and Twitter, and you can also follow me on Goodreads to see kind of what I'm currently reading and just what I'm doing in general. So, thanks again for watching, and have a great day.